Sanity check. Everyone happy? I mean, that was a loaded question. I walked into that one. Good. I was gonna say, love the dress. Very like. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Only one principal today. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get you started. Yeah, hey, folks, we're going to go ahead and get started in the back with Lathan Ransom for about 7 minutes or so. When he's done, he's just going to let himself out. Coach Day will be here in a second. How are you doing? Yeah. It's you. This is the second time I'm here. Oh yeah, for Archie's thing too. Yeah. Well, you know, my bride buys me something new. She says, wear it. I'll just be doing this kind of stuff with you guys. So. Good. Yeah. What we'll do? You know, we're going to start with your start. And then it's going to come to the front here to Bill, and then it's going to come to the front first, and then it's going to come back. Yeah, we're going to bring up Will, Emeka, Quinshon, and either Jordan or Denzel Burke. just so it's like I'm here. Yeah, it works. Thank you, Lathan. All right, folks, we're going to open up questioning over here to the right. Steven Means, Cleveland.com.
Ryan, kind of a two-parter for starters. How long are you expecting to be without Tyleek? And then also, your offense is essentially on the sideline for as long as they were in the first half, and yet they're still kind of clicking here.
Yeah.
What did you like about what you saw from your offense despite that?
We wanted to play fast today. We felt like that was the right approach, and we did. And when you do that and you're creating explosive plays, but then turn the ball over quick too, things like that can happen. That's the risk. We don't always play that way because we don't always want to put the defense in a bad position that way. But we felt like in this game, philosophically, that's what we were going to do. We talked to the team about it. Obviously, we talked to the offense about it. And I thought we had a good tempo about us on offense today. We had an opportunity to kind of wear them down and be explosive. So I thought that was well done. Tyleek will be day-to-day. And I don't know when we'll have an update there, but he's day-to-day.
Over to the left, Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Ryan, on the kickoffs with Jaden there in the second quarter, what exactly was his issue?
Yeah, I didn't really get into it, and so we put Austin in there, and I thought he did a nice job. So we'll evaluate him and see if there's any, tweak or something that happened, in the hip or whatever. But, but either way, we can't have that. I mean, that's putting our defense in a terrible situation. Having 3 out of bounds and 3 drives that start on the 35-yard line, that's completely ridiculous. So we got to get that fixed, however we do that. And, you get to the point where you want to let somebody play through it, but then it's at, another point, we got to make a change. So I thought Austin did a nice job of stepping in there and doing a good job kicking the ball off.
Over here to the right, Tim May, Letterman Row.
Yeah, Ryan, your overall view of the way your defense played today tightened up things clearly in the second half. That air raid is a real deal, it looks like. But and then number 2, your penalty, but you also had another guy tossed out of the game for, I think it was Caden Curry. How wrong did you feel in that moment with your penalty by the way they were lollygagging?
You're asking a lot of questions there, Tim. And geez.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if that counts for 1 or 3. All right, where do we start? The defense. I felt like Marshall did a nice job with their style of play, which is +1, spreading you out with the quarterback run. As we know, there's pluses and minuses of that. The plus, you can be +1. The negative is you take a lot of shots on your quarterback. So they did a good job with that. I thought we continue to stick with it. There's still a lot of things that we're going to watch on this film that we're not going to be pleased with, just with overall execution. I know Jim's going to be that way. So the things we did well, we'll continue to enhance. The things that we didn't do well, we got to grow from. Like you said, we kept playing on it. Did do some good things, and we're not going to take any win for granted, as you see across the country. We all take these wins for granted, but there's a lot of work that gets put into them, and guys played hard out there today. They did. Again, the effort is there. The guys are playing hard, and so we got to keep building on that. In terms of the penalties, the Caden thing, I got to look a little bit closer at. I saw it. When you see things in slow motion, sometimes it looks a little different than when it's live. So. But my situation was, there was 21 seconds on the clock when we subbed in. They, my opinion, were really, 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 really slow getting in. And so at some point when you make a sub, around 21 seconds, you still should be able to run a play. And so we had to call timeout. I went out to the numbers. I didn't curse, but I was, raising my voice saying that there was 21 seconds on the clock. And at some point that has to be a delay a game on the defense. I guess I yelled too loud. I'm not sure why, but that's what happened.
Over to the left, Rob Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Yeah, Ryan, you had 1 carry for 2 yards in the first quarter, and then it just breaks loose. What did you like about your running game after that?
Yeah, how many plays did we have in the first quarter? I don't remember. Is that all it was? That's probably more. Yeah. I think what you're seeing is an identity that's slowly getting molded here where, we're explosive on the perimeter. I keep saying I don't think it was perfect, but I see our receivers blocking on the perimeter with some of these screen plays. You saw the first one to Emeka where, guys are blocking and then that thing split. You see the athleticism of some of our linemen, Josh Fryer out in space, Seth McLaughlin did a great job on that play. And then Emeka's got the home run ability. So that spreads you out this way. We took a shot early. We got to clean that up a little bit. There's some things that we can do better there, and coach it better. But we're trying to stretch the field vertically. Once you do that and you can start running the ball with the way that our running backs are running and the way the O-line's now, really growing. And I think Donovan being back in there helped a lot. And I thought the running backs ran hard. And, when you have the ability for Will to pull it, that just changes the numbers. You think back when we had Justin Fields and we had JT Barrett, it was just a different run game. And so I think you're starting to see that come back a little bit. I thought Chip again called a good game, good balance across the board. So, again, bigger challenges ahead. We're heading into conference play, but the identity is starting to build, and that running game is starting to build an identity and some confidence, I think, up front, which was needed.
Ability to see the field. I'm not saying you haven't had that before, but it looks pretty special.
Yeah, I thought Travion ran hard, and I thought Quinshon, and even James. James had some good. All three of them. I got to give them credit. They all have special abilities. They play well off each other. They're unselfish, which is like the biggest thing you can say about a bunch of guys. Like, they don't care who gets the credit. They're all running downhill and playing really fast. So a good group, and I think Locke's got them playing hard.
Folks, we have Jordan Hancock in the back of the room for about 6 more minutes. Over to the right, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
2 quick ones. How would you assess Will Howard's play and kind of where he stands right now? And just as a team, you're now heading into Big Ten play. You haven't been tested in non-conference. How do you feel about where you are right now?
Again, you don't know till you get out in the field, but we go against good players every day in practice. So it's not like we don't know what we look like against good players. So we'll just go on what we see and grow from it from there. But I thought Will did some really good things. I mean, the touchdown play to Jeremiah, that was a hot situation where we did not have the nickel picked up on that play. And that was a sight adjustment where he had to see that. And so the execution on that was very, very high. I thought the long pass to Carnell was really well done. He saw the adjustment that was made there and found the next read. So that was well done. There's a couple really good plays in there by Will. So I think he's growing. I think he's getting more comfortable in the offense. So we'll watch the film and grade and see if he graded out a champion.
And folks, we have Emeka Abuka at one of the back tables as well. Back over to the left for Coach Cameron Teague Robinson, the Athletic.
Ryan, I think it was going into week 1. You mentioned the excitement to get Quinshon on the field, but you didn't know exactly what it would look like because he hadn't played a game in a Ohio State uniform. 3 games in, what have you learned about Quinshon that really stands out about him?
I just appreciate how hard he plays. His pad level when he runs. He's got home run ability, but you can see he gets behind his pads and runs physical. He's got a great attitude. He's got a great attitude. You can coach Quinshon hard, and he looks you in the eye, and he almost appreciates the fact when you coach him hard that you're trying to get him better. And that's a great sign for somebody who, hasn't been in the program for multiple years. It says a lot about who he is as a person. And he's running hard. I think he enjoys being part of this program, and he's been nothing but a great teammate so far.
Over to the right, Dylan Davis, Delaware Gazette.
The depth of your interior defensive line was really tested today between Tyleik being out and certainly the heat as well. I guess what were your thoughts on that, and especially guys like Jason Moore and Tywan Malone getting as long of playing time as they have here? So,
I got to watch it and figure it out. I feel like a mixed bag kind of coming out of the game. Some good play in there, but there was some other things that I think we're going to look at and want to get fixed. So I'll kind of wait till the film to and get some more feedback from the defensive coaches on exactly how some of those should have been fit.
Folks, we're going to take 2 more questions for Coach Day. Then we're going to bring Quinshon up to the main podium. Over to the right, Spencer Holbrook, Letterman Row.
Ryan, you guys rotated Austin Integra a little bit on the right there.
Yeah.
Do you want that to be a fluid situation as you guys keep going, or would you like to settle that once and for all at some point?
I like seeing them both play. Yeah, I think they both deserve to play. I think you guys saw them both play well in the first couple games. We'll see how they grade it out, and we'll keep evaluating it. But I don't think it's a bad thing to have a young guy get a little bit of a break during a game. And if we feel like it gets to the point where they're not getting into the flow of the game, then we'll keep a close eye on it. But I like getting those guys in the game and getting them reps.
And final question for Coach, over to the left, Andy Anders, 11 Warriors.
Yeah, sticking with the run game, the growth you've seen on the offensive line and from the run blocking as a whole in the first few weeks. I mean, what to you has really spurned that on and gotten to the point now where you've put up the numbers you have these last 2 games?
I think it's everything. I think it's Seth has done a great job of getting everybody on the same page. He's like having an NFL center in there. He is. When you go into a meeting and you say something, he's got the answer or he's going to get it fixed in game. He's talking to those guys. It's just a calming presence, I think. Then when you add Donovan in there, it strengthened it even more, I feel like, this week. Now, not everything's perfect, and we are going to see, a lot different competition moving forward. That's just once we get into conference play and down the road. So, we're not, making any kind of judgments right now. But you go off what you see, and you're seeing improvement there, and that's a good sign. I do think the running backs have a big part of it. You watch the film. Are they running hard? The answer is yes. And then again, Will making good decisions, either having the ability to pull it when appropriate, or making the decision to throw the ball out on the perimeter with the receivers blocking is critical. If your receivers don't block when you have some of those things, those plays don't work. So those are extensions of the run game, even though maybe they don't always show.
Great. Coach, thank you very much.
Okay, guys, thanks.
All right, folks, we are going to bring to the main podium in a moment. We'll bring someone to the main podium. Thank you, Jordan Hancock. All right, now up at the main podium, Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon will start over here to the right. Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
First quarter, you don't touch the ball. What's it like for a running back who wants to get in the flow of the game to not even touch the ball? And then obviously you exploded after that.
Just with Travion being in there, I was super excited to see how he ran, just supporting him from afar and just looking at how he progressed throughout the first quarter and the different runs that he had and just how the offense was flowing. So it was pretty successful, and I enjoyed it.
Over to the left, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
I think it was 95 degrees on the field. Did it feel, is Mississippi is it any hotter than this?
Definitely. Some days a little hotter. I think some of my teammates had to get a little bit adjusted. Someone was breathing like super hard, and I was like, it's not even that hot, guys. So I think it wasn't as hot as I thought it was going to be, for sure.
Coach Day was saying coachability is maybe your thing. Do you pride yourself on that in terms of wanting to get better? Have you always been that way, or did you bristle at times and say, no, I'm already there?
Yeah, definitely. I've always been that way. That's how I approach the game. I approach the game in a way that I want to get better. And if my coaches, that's what they're here for, to help me improve and go out and make my game to be better on a day-to-day basis. So I listen to it and I go out there and just try to improve every single day.
Quinshon, over to the right here, you have Stefan Kreishnik, Cleveland.com.
You had the big run last game, come back. How good did it feel to kind of get another chance and break it this time? It was the longest run of your career.
Yeah, definitely felt pretty good. I turned around a little bit to see if I had a flag on the play, but I was definitely super excited, so it's fun.
Gus Johnson mentioned on the broadcast that you'd pulled him aside and said that you were excited to have him call your game. Have you listened to that call yet, and why were you excited?
I haven't. I have not listened to the call, but just being in a different conference in the SEC, with the announcers and the commentators that we had, and you hear Gus Johnson in the Big Ten, so it's like he's super exciting the way he commentates the game, and I wanted to be a part of that experience, so it was super fun.
Over to the left, Jeff Gilbert, Press Pros.
Quinshon, Coach Day just mentioned earlier in here, nobody cares who gets the credit. Why? You're new to this team this year. Why is that culture like that here? What have you seen? Where did it come from?
Man, I think it's the brotherhood. Everybody has put blood, sweat, and tears into this program. Everybody has woke up at 5 a.m. to be in the building and train. And it's because you're doing it for the person beside you. It's not you're doing it because of yourself. It's because you're doing it for your brother. And just knowing that I can trust that guy beside me to go out there and he's going to make a play. That's what our culture is, and that's what everything is built on, and that's what our foundation is built on.
Quinshon over here to the right. Tim May, Letterman Row.
Quinshon, what is your attitude when you get that ball, when you get a pitch, when you get the ball in your hands? Because you seem to just run with, I don't know, power is one word, but just not reckless abandon either. You have a purpose in mind, but it's almost like you want to fight, a little bit. And plus that stiff arm, it wasn't really a stiff arm, just a shove down there on the defender on the corner when you scored that one touchdown. I don't know what just goes into your mind when you got the ball in your hands.
I think the mindset of me and my teammates as a whole is to play with bad intentions. And I think that's my mindset when I get the ball is to, I'm going to try to, that's my job. I'm going to do my job at the end of the day. I'm going to try to get the first down. I'm going to try to score. So every time I get the ball, I'm going to make the most of it.
Over here to the right, Dylan Davis, Delaware Gazette.
Quinshon, you played 3 games now in the Horseshoe. I guess, can you kind of just reflect on what this experience has been like and how it kind of compares to, some of the things you experienced in your previous years?
Yeah, it's definitely been a super fun experience. I enjoy every single win with my teammates. Like Coach Day says, it's not hard to get a win in any football game. So we enjoy the win, and then we'll come back tomorrow and, see how we can improve for the next game. I think this team here as a whole,
the weather,
the
Oxford,
heat. Okay, the heat. I would say, it's like I said earlier, it's not that hot. Like, for me personally, it's not that bad. Yeah.
And final question for Quinshon, Noah Weiskopf over here to the right, the Lantern.
Quinshon, what goes through your mind when you see really 86 yards of open field in front of you? Like, what are you thinking?
Score. That's really my mindset. I think when I get the ball, I want to give a big shout out to Coach Locke because the way he teaches the whole room and how we go through progressions and practice and different things when it comes to going through our progressions and reading linebackers. I want to give a big thanks to him because he's helped the whole room improve as a whole. So just going through my progressions and my reads, and I've seen the linebackers come out of their gaps and overflow. So it's like I hit it and I was going.
Did you glance at the big screen?
I didn't. No, I just looked at the crowd and they were going crazy.
Great. Quinshon, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you guys.
Hey, folks, we can have the last question for Emeka Abuka in the back there, and we are going to bring Will Howard up to the main podium now.
What's up,
Will,
guys?
we're going to open up over here to the right with Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Cool. Well, we've heard that one of the benefits of having those tablets on the field is that you get to immediately review plays. I think you know where I'm going with this. When you watch that pick back on film, do you think I should have thrown it out further, or do you think I shouldn't have thrown the ball at all?
No, I looking back at that play, I probably wouldn't. I mean, sometimes things happen, and I think looking at it, the boundary was clouded, so I couldn't throw the boundary. We were max protected, so I had 3 routes. So it was either that or my vertical wrap, and my vertical wrap was covered. So that was really the only option I had, and the plan all week was let that thing rip and put it on a spot, and I'm going to trust number 4 every day of the week, and he's going to go make that play. And, sometimes things happen, and, it's football. And you know what? We had to come back and bounce back. And you know what? It's part of the game. And, it's about how you respond. And I think we responded really well, and nobody batted an eye. We just went back to work and kept going.
Will over to the left, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Yeah, well, when the run game is clicking like it did, and what does that do for you? What does that do for the offense? Is it an attitude changer?
Oh yeah. I think you saw the offensive line rocking off the ball today. They were getting up to the second level very fast, with the way that their front was set up. We felt like Seth and some of the tackles could work up to the second level really quickly, and I think our guards got really good movement. I think those guys were getting up to the second level well, and our running backs were doing an unbelievable job of reading things. And when the run game is clicking like that, man, it makes my job easy, because we're not in a lot of third downs. We stay on schedule, and if we are in third down, I don't think we had more than obviously the one that was like a super long, but other than that, it was maybe like a 3rd and 10 was probably the longest we had. So it keeps you on schedule, and when you can present a balanced attack like we did today, it opens a lot of things up.
Attitude, Quinshon was saying that bad intentions. You play with bad intentions.
Mhm.
Does when the run game is doing what it's doing, does that sort of change anything from finesse to more power, or what does that do in the mood?
I don't think we think about that much. I think we're just out there executing one play at a time. And some plays, they're going to be a little more finesse. Some plays are going to be a little more downhill and right at you. And it's everyone's just got to do their job on every single play. And we're trying to be the hardest playing team in the country. And I think we just had a pretty solid game. And I think overall, we went 49-14. No one's going to complain about that. That's a we don't take wins for granted here. But and I say this every single week, and I'm going to say it the rest of the year. But there's always more to improve on, and I think that's the exciting thing.
Will over here, deep right. Andy Backstrom, Letterman Row.
Yeah, Will, you guys showed the T again, like in the spring game. Are you ever surprised by what Chip Kelly's calling? And now 3 games into it, just what's your relationship like with him calling plays?
Yeah, I think we're clicking. We're on the same page on a lot of things, and just the way that we see, the way that we see coverages and the way that we see just the pictures. We're on the same page on a lot of stuff, and I think we're really starting to click. And you never know what you're going to get with Coach Kelly. He'll do just about anything, and I think that's the cool part about it. It keeps defenses on their toes, and there's still a ton of stuff that I'm sure we're going to come up with, and new stuff we'll create, and things we'll make off of what we've already done, and I think that's the fun part about it. It's the chess game, it's the game within the game, and it makes it fun.
Over to the left, Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Will, on Mecca's touchdown, how soon after he caught it did you think it was going to go all the way, and just how important is what he can do after the catch?
It was pretty soon after. I think I looked at Trey and started celebrating, and I knew he was gone after he hit that. I think he crossed into like the 3rd level, and I was like, all right, he's gone. I think my 2 touchdown passes were a screen and a slant today, and they were both for over like 45 to 68 yards. It's awesome. When I can just let those guys go, get the yak and do the rest. It makes my job easy, man.
Over to the right, Spencer Holbrook, Letterman Row.
Will, now that Emeka's had the kind of game he just had, Jeremiah had obviously 2 really good games to start the year. Do you feel like teams are starting to defend you guys a little differently, and will continue to try to do different things moving forward to try to throw you guys off?
I'm sure they will. I don't know if we've seen anything crazy yet. I think in all the games that we've played, I think every defense has kind of tried to change things up, tried to give us different looks. I think today they were kind of just trying to throw whatever they could at us, different looks. They changed up some things, some tendencies they did that didn't show up today as much. Obviously there were still some that stayed true, but some of them didn't show up as much. And you have to be ready for all those things and be ready to react to them. But also, I think all of this stuff that we've done has presented problems for defenses, and you gotta just continue to adjust and adapt to whatever they're going to do to you.
Aisle, Pat Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
Speaking of problems for defenses, I know your receivers don't care who gets the credit, but to get the ball spread around a little more, Jeremiah obviously took the headlines the first 2 games. Going into Big Ten play, how important is that to kind of remind everyone, Emeka, Carnell, you've got weapons besides?
Yeah. No, I think it's huge. I think, people respecting everything, and not just the receivers, the tight ends too. Those guys can make plays too, and then the run game, and then, me getting my legs going, all these different things present challenges for defenses. And the more ways that we can attack them and the more people we can get involved, the harder it's going to be for them.
Over here to the right, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Mecca said that the expectation, or at least the possibility, is there to score on every play. What's it like to be the quarterback on an offense that has that kind of ability and confidence to do that?
Man, I was sitting on the sideline today, and I was talking to some of the other quarterbacks, Devin and Julian. I was like, dude, our offense is so explosive. It's crazy. Literally every play could be a touchdown. If we block everything up and get everything, every play could break for a touchdown. And it's exciting. It's also it makes it kind of fun. You're just you never know when Trey's going to go, take a run that should have probably been tackled for an 8-yard loss and just stiff arm somebody and into next week. And Quinshon, superhero slamming some, it's fun, man. It makes it makes it exciting, and you never know what's going to happen on any certain play. All you got to do is, for me, I just got to do my job, man, and I just got to keep us on schedule and be sharp, and I think we did a good job of that today.
Over to the left, Cameron Teague Robinson, the Athletic.
Will, there's a lot of talk about the explosion of the receivers, but on a day when you can give a bubble or a screen to Emeka and he can take it for a touchdown, but then say the next drive, the receivers block the way they do. What is that like to have receivers, and not just one receiver, it's all of them, be so versatile in that aspect?
Yeah, man, that's the mentality of that room, man. Zone 6, like those dudes are dudes, like, and it's not just about getting catches. It's not just about scoring touchdowns. It's about executing every single play. And I think Coach Hart does a really good job of coaching those guys up and getting them right. I've never seen a more selfless group of receivers and a more selfless, talented group of receivers. Like, all of them are unbelievably talented. They all want to genuinely see each other succeed. They block for each other because, they know that whatever, they may have to do the same thing the next play, and they're going to be, Emeka may be blocking for Carnell, and then Carnell may be blocking for Mech, and JJ, like whoever it is, man, it doesn't matter. And I think that shows the selflessness of those guys and, the character of the guys in that room. And that for me, like, I can work with character, man. If I got guys around me that I truly love and care about, and I know are going to go put their body on the line and make plays, not just in the pass game, but in the blocking game, like, man, we can work with that. That is, it's spoiling for me.
Got time for just a couple more. Over here to the right, Tim May, Letterman Row.
Yeah, just 3 real fast ones. Your coach taking the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty when clearly Marshall was lollygagging and getting back out on the field. You were in the midst of that. What were you told by the officials there about what was going on?
I wasn't really told anything.
I mean,
I wasn't. I don't know. I don't know what happened on that play.
Of course, was called timeout.
Yeah, I don't know what the refs were just. I mean, I know they were playing the game with us with the delay of game and trying to, late substitute. I've been a part of that on teams before, and I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and the robust, when you get the sneak, did you get harder from the front? Did you get it harder from the front or the back? Because everybody wanted you to score, I think.
I don't know. Pause. But I knew somebody. I needed to say it, but I don't know. That O-line got a really, really good push on that play, though. They got a really good push, and it was probably the easiest quarterback sneak I've ever had.
And the last thing, Quinshon Judkins, you get to watch him sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Well, how would you describe how he runs from a violent standpoint, whatever you want to call it?
He's different, man. He's different. He's built different. He's a different beast, man. He's physical. He's fast. I mean, you saw it on that breakaway run. Like, there's not much that guy can't do. And I think on top of that, he's one of my favorite people on the team. Like, he's like awesome. I love that dude. And I would do anything for him, man. And the plays that he's making, it just, it's just a compound of all the work he's put in since he's been here. And I'm excited for him because he's only scratching the surface of what he's capable of, and he's already doing some pretty damn good things.
And final question, Stefan Kreisnick, Cleveland.com.
Coach was talking about Seth McLaughlin, said he was kind of like an NFL center, said he had a calming presence in a room. I guess from your perspective, working with him, how much easier does he kind of make your job, and how has your relationship with him grown since you both got here?
Man, me and Seth are super tight. Like, he's one of my best friends on the team, and we spend a lot of time together. And he is a guy that I fully trust in anything. Like, if he makes a call, I'm like, oh yeah, he probably sees something I don't see, and we can bounce ideas off each other. Hey, why'd you do that? Why'd you make a left call there? Why'd you, whatever it is, we have that relationship to where we trust each other, and we know that we're both trying to get on the same page, and we're on the same page most of the time. And he's been really, really good for me to have, just coming into this, being a first-year guy in a system, and also having a guy like him. I think both of us can kind of lean back on our experiences a little bit, and all the different football. We've both of us have played a ton of football up to this point, and I think that's helped us, and we've bonded over that, and also it's helped us out on the field.
Great. Will, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll go Bucks.
Folks, press box closes in 2 hours and 14 minutes, so prioritize your post-game activities, and we'll see you Tuesday.